Hare Krishna. I would like to share a beautiful story from the Srimad Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which showcases the Radharani's devotion to the Lord. I want to explain about a small story. Narada Muni's search for the greatest devotee. Since Narada Muni has been traveling all over the universe from the time immemorial, he has seen many devotees. So he has seen many kings, they were worshipping the Lord, and many common people also were praying, and many sages meditating on the Lord, and even the demigods also performing many sacrifices for the Lord Vishnu. But he always had a question that I have seen the many greatest devotees, and everyone loves the Lord in their own way, and everyone worships them. But I wanted to discover who is the Lord's greatest devotee. So he set out for a journey to discover the Lord's greatest devotee. First he visited the Jagannath Puri, where Indrajumna Maharaj was staying, and the Indrajumna Maharaj was the king for the Jagannath Puri, and he built a magnificent temple for the Lord Jagannath. And but what Indrajumna Maharaj replied that when Narada approached, no, I'm not the greatest devotee. I'm bound by this palace, wealth, and duties. I cannot concentrate fully on the Lord's service. Better you go and approach the Indra. So Indra has given the position of king. Indra was awarded the position of king for the heavenly planets. Even the Lord himself has come personally as the brother of Lord Indra to take over the kingdom from the Bali Maharaj and give back to the Indra. And but Indra replied that no, I'm not the greatest devotee because I have done greater. I was jealous after many devotees, and fearing that my throne will be lost, and I sent Apsara to capture the Viswamitra, and I offended the Prithu Maharaj when he was about to perform the 100 Aswamedha Yagna, and I took over the arts, and particularly I offended even the Lord Krishna himself. In the Govardhan Lila, actually the Krishna recommended that instead of performing the puja to the Lord Indra, so he recommended to perform puja to the Govardhan. But so Lord Indra got so much angry, and he sent Samvardhaka clouds. Usually that will be sent at the time of Pralaya. So, but when that heavy rains were pouring on the Vrindavan, then Krishna saved all the Vrajavasis by lifting the Govardhan hill. And even when Satyabhama has come to the heavenly planets, he wanted to take over the Parijata tree, but I fighted even against Satyabhama. But eventually, I begged for forgiveness from Lord Krishna, and he replied that he disrespected the Brahaspati, who is the guru for the Devatas, and I killed the Vritsasura, who is the greatest devotee of the Lord. So then Indra recommended that please go and approach the Lord Brahma, and he the creator. So he mentioned about the glories of Brahma, and he the creator of the universe, and he born from the Lord's lotus navel. He the first created being in the universe, and he said the Lord, Krishna said the spiritual knowledge to the all the four Vedas to the Brahma as well, and with that knowledge Brahma created the lower planets, higher planets, and uh, Bhuloka also. And but Brahma replied that no, 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 I'm not the greatest devotee. Sometimes I had to grant undesired benediction to the unwanted benedictions to the asuras as well. Since as soon as Hiranyakasipu was awarded the immortality benediction, he tortured the many devatas, and he killed many humans, and he killed many cows, and I offended even the Krishna himself in the Brahma Vimohan Leela. I took over the cows, and all that. So, and I got attracted to the my own daughter as well. So I'm not the greatest devotee, but better you go and approach the Lord Shiva. The Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam that Vaishnavanam Yata Sambho, of all the devotees, he is the topmost devotee. And the Sri Rama Rama Rameti sloka also has come from the Lord Shiva. And the Rudra Gita in the Bhagavatam, that and even the Kshetrasagara Madana happened. He drank the poison as well, and he always stays in the Kailasa, and even his son was also the greatest devotee. So, there were many beautiful things about Lord Shiva. But Shiva replied that no, no, I'm not the greatest devotee because even I was awarded the position of this tamasic conditions. You see, I'm wearing the skulls as garland, and I was wearing the snakes, and I was smearing with the ashes and all that. And similarly, as Brahma, I also given many benedictions to the asuras as well. And I fighted against the Lord Krishna in the Bhagavatam, we can see, and I gave the benedictions to the Jaitra, and Arjuna killed him so skillfully. And I gave the benedictions to the Salva, and I got attracted to the Mohini form. And I adventured myself as the Lord Sankaracharya to preach the Advaita Vada, which is against the Vaishnavism, and all that he was describing. And he referred to the Lakshmi Devi. Then when Narada approached Lakshmi Devi replied that no, even I'm always at Lord's side, and I'm massaging his feet, and but I could not fulfill my desire, which was that like she wanted to, the Lakshmi Devi wanted to enter into the Rasalila. But she was not allowed even after performing the long penance, because she was attracted to the that Vaikuntha form, that opulence form we see in the Vaikuntha, right? But she was not habituated or adjust to the village atmosphere, so that's why she could not enter into the Rasalila. Then Lakshmi Devi recommended Prahlad Maharaj. Then when Narada approached Prahlad Maharaj, and but the Prahlad Maharaj stays in the Sutala, along with Bali Maharaj, and Vamana is the doorkeeper. And the Prahlad Maharaj also was put into many difficulties, and he was like crushing under the feet of elephants, and he was given the poison, and the fire, and he was thrown from the top of the hill, and many difficulties. But he could remember the Lord at the time of danger, so that's why Lord Narasimha has come and saved him. But but Prahlad Maharaj replied that no, I prayed Lord for freedom from my suffering, but there is one great devotee who has done lot of service to the God, and he lives only for his service. He is Lord Hanuman. Lord Hanuman has done lot of service to the God, crossing the Lanka and finding the Sita, and even he saved the Lakshmana by bringing the Sanjeevani, and he helped in the constructing the bridge, and eventually everyone crossed the by utilizing under cross out the bridge, and eventually they killed the Ravana, and Hanuman helped in this Ramayana so much. But but Hanuman replied that no, I'm not the greatest devotee. I acted only as his servant, but I'm not his closest companion. His closest companion are Pandavas. In the Mahabharata, we see Krishna has taken the position of chariot driver, so humble position. And Pandavas also were undergoing so many difficulties, but they could remember Lord Krishna. Even the Bhima was given the poison, and Duryodhana wanted to set fire and all that. But Pandavas were replied that no, we are not the greatest devotee. Better you go and approach the Uddhava. At the time of Krishna's disappearance, Krishna taught Uddhava Gita, and in turn Uddhava went to Badrikasrama and they preached. And Krishna Uddhava was the counselor for the Krishna as well. And at the time of Rajasuya Yajna, Uddhava recommended that better you go and kill Jarasandha and all that. So due to the ecstatic devotion of Uddhava, so Uddhava's body was also similar to the Krishna. But when Narada approached Uddhava replied that no, I'm not the greatest devotee. I realized that gopis are the topmost devotees, because when I went to Vrindavan, I could witness their devotion to the Lord, because they were always crying due to the separation from Lord. When Lord moved away from Vrindavan to Madura, so they were always crying, and they were always so feeling so much distress, and their lives were only for the sake of Krishna. And there is one great pastime happened in the Dwaraka. So actually, the Krishna pretended to have a headache. Many doctors have given many various meditation to cure, but the Krishna told that the only medicine for my headache is the dust from the feet of my devotees. But in the Dwaraka, everyone shocked, because the Yadus, Rukmini, Satyabhama, everyone refused to give the food dust, because they were feeling that this is the greatest offense we will make, and we will be sent to the hell if we give food of our dust of our foot. But then what happened? Narada approached gopis, but without a second thought, gopis told, if the dust from our feet can cure Krishna's pain, even we suffer in hell, we don't care. We want Krishna to be happy. This is the devotion of the gopis. See, this Leela shows us that the showcase the selfless and unconditional love of gopis. Unlike others, they didn't care about seeing own welfare, and they want only the Krishna's happiness. So this is the topmost devotion of gopis, and particularly the Radharani. So there is a great verse in the Bhagavatam. So usually we have to approach the Lord not directly, but through his devotees. So it's mentioned that Vandeham Sri Radhikam Devim Vrindaranya Viharinim Yashaha Krupa Vihina Kopi Krishnam Gnatam Na Harahati. Unless we get the mercy of Radha Rani, Yashaha Krupa Vihina Kopi Krishnam Gnatam Na Harahati, we cannot understand about the Krishna. So if you want to explore in more detail, you can watch Telugu video which consists of 40 minutes. So let us conclude the session. Hare Krishna.